Questioning Everything with Garrett and Adam.
Pyramids, not at all, and especially considering
I disagree.
We've got geometry, we've got math.
Well, that's what some of the crop circles are too. And
base
you just said it again, man. The fucking pyramids are an amazing example of math and geometry, bro.
Of course.
So there it is. That's their writing. Hey.
No. They could actually inscribe something way more interesting. Something that we don't get. No, dude, simple geometry is not a giveaway. Simple geometry could go back 30,000 years. We don't know.
Those things, those pyramids are in line.
That's not at all any type of giveaway. That's not even close to outside of the capability of ancient peoples.
I think. Well, how do they know where the fucking planet, what the universe look like without telescopes?
They've got eyeballs. They can see.
Well, they just see a star. They can't fucking tell what that's Jupiter. That's Pluto. Isn't Pluto in some of the Anunnaki texts?
You could claim that it is, but that's not what we're talking about. We were just talking about Egypt and buildings and pyramids, and you're trying to make the claim that pyramids are evidence of aliens because it's geometry.
They're going to leave something behind. And fucking pyramids.
We have geometry way, way, way back. Geometry doesn't like start in modernity, right? So they definitely had geometry when the pyramids are claimed to have been built.
But I do believe that the Anunnaki had some hieroglyphs or some inscriptions of the solar system with the planets loosely placed where they are now, or where like they're quite accurate, and some other cultures have pyramids placed like that, just displaying the universe.
No, there's geometric, like most of the significance.
Which would say, how the hell do they know that?
Archaeoastronomy would be, like entranceways are pointing perfectly east, or they'll be aligned, like the pyramids, the allegation is that they're aligned to Orion's belt, right?
Yeah, that's
most of the time.
How do you do that?
Most of the time, temples are built just aligned to the equinox, which is really quite easy.
But there are
knowing which way the sun goes,
or something, where the pyramids are actually laid out in the shape of the universe.
In the shape of the universe.
Well, the planets. Sorry. The solar system, dude.
Yeah, there's massive claims. I think in the best interest of mental health, the best thing to do is dismiss all that sort of bullshit.
Mental health. Now you're talking about mental health.
Probably either remembered wrong or somebody's. No, really though, right? Like if you honestly think that pyramids in South America were built in some type of a shape for the universe, then you're fucking with your own head, because it's just simply not true.
Trying to find
you can find whatever you want, and some guy in
pyramid structures in South America that prove the solar system.
Yeah, it's super proof, like,
or whatever. Just trying to find
somehow it doesn't go past the universities. Somehow academics
pyramids in Latin America, right? Like they were, this pyramid complex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not. It's pretty weird, man.
But it's not.
Well, they're all. We
have astronomy. We've got geometry. We've got surveying. We've got there's evidences all over the world that people are doing the same shit.
Somewhere that look like this fucking. I sound like an idiot, but whatever.
They're pointed in certain directions. That's
just trippy.
That's really it, right? Some of them, they'll be like an obelisk that casts a shadow on the stairs that shows the time. They're impressive, but they're not any indication of otherworldly information. The inscriptions from Chaldea are probably among the most interesting.
What are those ones?
Those are the ones where you just got like the drawing of the sun, and it appears to have all the planets and
there you go.
Proper appropriation.
That's what I'm sort of trying to talk to you about here.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not pyramids that are being arranged, right?
So, well, I believe that there is a compound in South America where the pyramids are arranged in such an order.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fascinating. That's pretty cool. So, but this thing you're talking about,
it's just a drawing on a clay tablet.
Pretty weird.
Of course, it's weird.
So, if that was proof, that's proof of some kind of great knowledge, man. If it was.
Well, yeah. But that's just it, is that there's a lot of interesting knowledge. There's a lot of interesting shit with the Sumerians that, again, that's where, are they time travelers or are they aliens?
Oh boy.
Right? Like that's not an unreasonable question when you look at what's there.
Well,
because what's there
in the podcast, you said that's a fucking, those are both equally preposterous fucking ideas for fucking
And are they
idiots.
not?
Well, I don't know, man.
Are they not?
I don't know, dude. You're
gotta
insinuating I'm a fucking idiot.
You have to be able to suspend your disbelief in order to humor an idea. And when you look at stuff like that, the instinct is to want to explain it. Right. So if somebody's like, well, Anunnaki, gives you a backstory, it seems reasonable enough. And that is better than, I don't know. And so we adopt it. Fact is that as long as aliens coming from Nibiru or coming from, there's so many holes in the theory.
Well, the planet X,
who they are, where they're coming from, why they'd be here, why they're cutting up stone and not doing something more interesting. Like
what?
Like metal, dude. Like a silicon. Like, look at all the shit. Look at this. Look at this whole fucking room. Show me one stone thing. Dude, hold on. Show me one stone thing in this room.
One stoned thing in this room? You, Adam.
Do you see any stone here? Do you see shit that or anybody made out of stone because they thought that would be impressive? No.
I don't know.
No.
I think the giant megalithic stones are fucking impressive.
We don't even have space travel.
Pardon me?
We don't even have space travel.
What? Who doesn't? Yeah, we do. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? That's funny because last I checked, we can't even fucking get to Mars.
Why haven't we gone back to the moon? And proven that shit.
So we don't even have space travel, but we're surrounded by plastics, by alloys, by materials that we have literally produced ourselves. We've taken bullshit and we've made it into all this cool material. And aliens have come here from a different solar system, warp speed or some shit, multi-dimensional travel. And they've left us with cut up rock as the big evidence, right?
Yeah.
Like they could have chiseled in a dot pattern that we wouldn't have figured it out until like now, because it's like some complicated fucking binary.
They did fucking send binary crop circle, man, with the gray alien face. You ever seen that crop circle?
They didn't send shit.
Okay.
Right?
Who did that then?
People. Right? So. Oh, well, people exist. People existed. We know people exist, and we don't have any evidence that they existed. And yet somehow they seem more reasonable to you. All right.
How would you
go back? You go back 7,000 years. Now you're interesting. Like now you've piqued my interest.
What's that?
If you go back 7,000 years, because now you're not talking about like people in modern UK who are fucking with their friends by making crop circles with plywood.
But no one's making crop circles out of plywood with that sophisticated binary code from fucking
Why not?
Seen that one? They aren't doing it with
Why not?
Plywood then, because these ones are like made weird. The grass is bent and broken all weird, man. It's
however they're making it.
I don't know, dude.
However they're making it. Like,
and the guy that's like, I made it with boards is like some hippie with 3 teeth.
No, there's like there's a whole society of people.
There's another redneck. I'm making them.
There's literally clubs.
Yeah, but they're not making some of these crop circles.
There's clubs of people who make crop circles. Organizations who meet and they make crop circles.
I'll have to look that up and see which ones they're doing. See, I bet you some of them are like, whoa, like, okay, maybe that is.
Some of them are pretty impressive. And it doesn't have to be overnight.
It's funny because it
doesn't have to be in one night. That's an illusion. That's an idea that, like, oh, how could you do that in one night? Nobody ever said that they could do it in one night. Nobody's looking. You have to actually look.
Gray alien crop circle. You're telling me that someone made that with boards.
Yeah.
That's fucking massive.
And then look at the the thing beside it's way more impressive. Like the gray alien's dumb.
Okay, no, that's what we're talking about. This is a message that's way
the math. Yeah. It's a QR code.
Well, that says something very strange too. It says it actually says.
The university students, man, like this is probably
that. These aren't this is what's impressive though. That pie, right? Obviously, but it says something like "Do not trust." It's a very strange message.
For sure. So it's brilliant.
So what about this one?
Yeah, fuck yeah. It looks like some like stories, like spatial cosmogony.
This is why having being able to like
STEM courses on your fucking belt. Yeah.
I'm just saying, having like when we're STEM courses. Look at this video. Look at this. That we have evidence. I can show you. You still think that's people, though?
Well, I think it's people because it's the most likely, and I'm also fucking dumb, right? A STEM course on your belt, as much as you ridicule it, saying that it's going to prevent your imagination from believing in fucking
what?
STEM course, science, technology, economics, math.
Right.
Those courses are actually empowering people and how to understand stuff like that. There's people who understand the shapes of chemistry enough so that they can go, wait a second, or physics, or like these are you need a very good understanding of math and physics just to be able to wrap your head around what
would be the language of
what would be happening.
Universe,
for you and me to be impressed by it doesn't mean anything. For me to be like, oh no, that's gotta be, I'm fucking retarded, man. I'm fucking retarded. I could not explain to a fucking physicist E equals MC squared if I had to put a gun to my head, explain E equals MC squared. They would laugh at how stupid I am, and I love physics. Compared to a lot of people I know, I'm like fairly well read. And I'm just an absolute fucking idiot. I can't determine whether or not those are real or not real. I'm not capable. You'd have to have a PhD in math and understand,
and I think that's
the geometric representation of physics and the geometric representation of chemistry. I
believe that some of those have stumped some of the great. In fact,
yeah.
And some of them learned something from one of them as well.
That's the one where they learned something is the interesting part.
3% of them, fucking what the hell? A lot of them probably made.
Even if there's only one that's what the hell, then that's enough. Because then that means that you've got people with boards, you've got associations or groups or clubs because they have to be organized, and you've got the smartest people in your country. You'd have to have all three of those things
at once.
You'd have to have tools, people, resources, people, and the most forefront, smartest people, period. Oh, as well as like surveyors and shit. Cause you don't just like, you go that way, I'll go this way. You map that shit out. Like those concentric circles, all the geometric patterns, you map that shit out with like sticks. You have to survey it with
people would see.
You have to, the surveyors
doing that. You have 8 or 9 hours of nighttime there's just no way, man. Like
that's not true.
If you got to watch some of these documentaries and see what these people, and people go into them and they're like, whoa, there's something, there's a fucking, people go into this, some of these circles bullshit. with that are like, that seem legit. And there's like, they can test energy. Yeah. There's just,
you got the old guy from like Jurassic Park who's a dowser and he can also, he's got a cell phone detecting the radiation in the broken glass.
And on that note, it's 9 o'clock and I got to go home and make my plans for tomorrow because I believe that
let's just say
habits create success, and I would like to be successful.
They do create success, but
I'm talking about habits, not aliens.
We need to be able to use all of the resources that are availability to understand the world around us. One of the goals is to understand the world, right? And one of the resources that we have is our ability to both humor something and not become a slave to it or a victim to it, right? So as much as we like to take polar positions for the purpose of debate, at the end of the day, if I didn't think that there was a reason to look into this stuff, I wouldn't look into it, right? So I'll acknowledge the reason to look into it and the curiosity and how the strangeness and how things don't add up or they're mysterious. But in order to safely and reasonably navigate a world of strangeness, we can't, or at least we have to question our assumptions. Not only question what we're seeing, but when we make an assumption about it, question that as well, right? It's not about not believing that the phenomena exists and dismissing it. You don't have to dismiss crop circles. But that part of your mind that's like, well, it's obviously aliens. Being able to dismiss that, even if only temporarily for your own sake, is a tool that then is like, okay, well, if it's not aliens, what could it be, right? Like, yeah, it could be people with boards. It might not seem like the most reasonable thing, but it could be, I mean, like really, even the whole aliens thing, like that would mean that somebody on a spaceship or on a planet or something, it's probably the same alien. Because in order to shoot a laser beam or a radiation or something in order to make a crop circle and not make it deformed, because the light traveling from another planet or the energy, the radiation traveling from another planet would become deformed by the time it got here. It would just look like a smear, you know? It's traveling from such a far distance in order for it to have the resolution to actually...
while they're here, probably, but...
Well, yeah, they'd have to.
They've claimed that...
And then they'd have to be...
Two orbs just floated over the thing quickly and then disappeared and the thing just fucking appeared.
And that would have to be. Because you can't be on a planet out in the middle of the universe and beam something and have all these perfect pictures. They'd be elongated on one end, you know, like we'd have some weird thing. Then the computer guys would have to bring it into software and be like, well, we corrected for the angle of the, you know, and then next thing you know, it's a picture. And we'd be like, holy fuck, because they just took some smearing bullshit and made it into something coherent.
That's an interesting thing you say.
Because
like that, I mean, that's hilarious. I would have never thought of that.
If the beam comes this way, now that's like, it's all just smeared, right?
Well,
like
I don't think
comet.
that they're shooting it.
They can't be shooting it from
like I said, there was footage. That's such a funny thing to think. Like the fact that you would think of that, like I would never cross my mind that like, what if they shot it from another planet and the fucking light got out?
Well, how does it get here?
Well, there was some footage caught of it. Two people caught what was two orbs dancing together like this. They just rolled together, come in, swoop down, and then they just flew off. And as they flew, the fucking crop circle just appeared instantly. Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't know, I'm not sure if that footage has been debunked or what, but it's been...
But don't you just assume that it's bunk? Like, isn't that just
debunked? Yeah, no, something that beautiful is too good to be true.
It's too easy. It's too easy that two light orbs came in and...
like, for me, I don't go, oh my God, that's how it's done. But I'm like, that would be how it would be done. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I'm like, that's just too good to be true, that video. It's probably fucking faked. How else are they doing it? Who knows?
Seems like it would have to be projected.
I have no idea, but I definitely...
And that's another question, is you'd be able to tell, like forensically, you'd be able to tell, because if somebody was 200 feet above the planet pointing a beam, you'd be able to tell because of the...
Orbs forming...
The shape of the
orbs
blast.
Forming crop circle.
You know, if it was from 10 miles above the Earth, then even a point source is now kind of like a less decipherable. It'd be like blur.
Here.
Oh God, you gotta send me that.
I mean, if that's...
When is that from? Please, I hope that's from like 2001 or something.
So if you look up orbs going over crop circle or forming crop circle, it's really green.
Let's swing back. Yeah.
I got to get out of here, man.
Yeah. Let's swing back to this topic some other time, because
it's 9 years ago.
9, exactly. Yeah. Nah.
What? So it's garbage?
Well, no, the footage was absolute shit. So if it was like 1962, I'd be like, but anywhere in the last 15 years,
well,
I've had like better cell phones My cell phone 15 years ago was 2K.
We don't know. This was uploaded 9 years ago. The footage could be even older.
Could be older. Let's look into it.
Okay, so let's do it. Definitely, this is a part 2.
Looks like a visual effects shot to me.
Who knows? I mean, but that's kind of like you look at it and you go, that would be how they were formed. But of course,
no,
like,
that's not actually.
What?
That's not how I think. I look at that and I think, I don't even see a way that would be formed like that.
Well, like who? I don't know. Man.
Because gonna need to project some form of a radioactive beam. It's gonna have to be some.
Doing. They're just flying
around though like that, dude. That's all random and shit, right? You'd hover above it and you'd be like, and then you'd fly away.
That's probably more likely.
You wouldn't like what are they doing while they're flying around like that, right? Oh yeah, they're just like sending us some fucking 3D printing. Yeah, no, you'd stand up. You'd
actually see
you'd
that's
go
so
above
funny.
it and go funk.
The guy that dismisses this stuff because you're just being practical, comes up with the greatest alternative theories. Like no, they'd either be coming from space, but if they came from space, then the fucking image would be all distorted by the time it got here. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I never thought of that. Now he's like, no. And if it was real, they'd be fucking hovering above the thing. They'd shoot it down for a second, then they'd fuck off. The orbs are stupid. And you're like, and that's another, like, you're like, that makes sense too. So,
but that's just it.
Are you making the fucking crops?
Yeah, right.
Adam, are you an alien trying to disprove it to me so that I'm not out there spreading the alien word or what? Because I'm looking across at his eyes right now and I'm thinking he's a fucking gray alien.
It just goes to show though that it's not a matter of eliminating things. It's not a matter of being like, you know what, that's dumb. No, I don't take that route at all. I've really considered this shit, and I just, my conclusions aren't the same, and people might not like my conclusions, but it's not that it's ill considered. I'd like to know how just as much as anybody else, but I'm not happy with the easy answer, unfortunately.
Right. And I can respect that, like saying, I see what the point is you just don't want to jump to the extraterrestrial conclusion immediately. Let's
without evidence, just because it's axiomatic.
Consider so many different other options, which I think is a very healthy way to look at it too.
Yeah.
Advertisement loading.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the podcast here, but we got a little bit of an announcement. What's going on, Adam?
Well, everybody should head on over to Patreon and the Questioning Everything Patreon page, where they can show their support by becoming a champion for only $5 per month. The Sophist tier of Patreon gives you not only access to the backstage areas of Discord and the stage area, but allows you to voice chat and text chat in those areas, so you can give us feedback on the show and join the conversation. If you just want to show your support and you don't want to join the Discord, there are a couple tiers for you, or you can join a Discord tier and simply not even use it. It's up to you.